वैष्णव जन तो तेने कहिए जे पीर पराई जाने रे। वैष्णव जन तो तेने पीर पराई जाने रे। वैष्णव जन तो तेने कहिए जे पीर पराई जाने रे। पर दुखे उपकार करे तोए मन अभिमान माने रे। वैष्णव जन तो तेने कहिए जे पीर पराई जाने रे। सकल लोक मां सहुणे वंदे निंदा न करे तेनी रे। सकल लोक मां सहुणे वंदे निंदा न करे तेनी रे। वाच काज मन निश्चल रागे धन धन जननी तेनी रे। वैष्णव जन तो तेने कहिए जे पीर पराई जाने रे। समदृष्टि ने तृष्णा जागी पर स्त्री जेने मातुरे। समदृष्टि ने तृष्णा जागी पर स्त्री जेने मातुरे। जीवात की असज्जन बोले पर धन नव चले हाथ रे। वैष्णव जन तो तेने कहिए जे पीर पराई जाने रे।
Sitaram Om Shakti. This is the one and the only Shakti Sundays with Justin D. Anthony. I want to say it's a pleasure and honor to have you locked on as we play all these divine songs and bring you teachings of the Divine Mother on this very, very auspicious Sunday morning. On today's Shakti Sundays, we'll be focusing our discourse on one of the 51 Shakti Peerths, specifically where the ankle of the divine goddess fell on earth. As such, please do me one favor in the first place. Please share this link across your Facebook as we speak today on Shakti Sundays about one of the Shakti Peerths of the Divine Goddess. But in the first place, I want to say pranam and good morning to Wendy Takardine and the entire Takardine family. I want to say pranam and good morning to Debbie Algu. I want to say good morning to Shirley Lochin, Sushma Sunny, I want to say good morning and pranam to Cindy Sukram, Vanessa Matadine. Broadly speaking, let me say pranam and good morning to all those watching in Trinidad and Tobago, Guyana, Suriname, the various Caribbean islands. I want to say pranam and good morning to all those watching in Canada, the United States of America, South Africa, the Mauritius and elsewhere. Wherever you're locking in from, wherever you're tuning in from, I want to say, may the Divine Goddess, Durga, bless you immensely. Once again, share this link across your Facebook as we speak today about one of the 51 Shakti Peerths related to the Supreme Goddess.
राम मिलन कब हो राम मिलन कब हो जय सिया राम जय जय सिया राम 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 राम मिलन कब हो अंदेश वाला गी रहे हरि हो राम मिलन कब हो अंदेश वाला गी रहे हरि हो राम मिलन कब हो अंदेश वाला गी रहे देहिया रतवा में इंद्रिया न पहिया देहिया रतवा में इंद्रिया न पहिया पाव के पंथ चले पाव के पंथ चले अंदेश वाला की रहे हरि हो राम मिलन कब हो अंदेश वाला की रहे हरि हो राम मिलन कब हो अंदेश वाला की रहे वेद पुराण शास्त्र बहुव्यंजन पाकर बाज बले वेद पुराण शास्त्र बहुव्यंजन पाकर बाज बले वेद पुराण शास्त्र बहुव्यंजन वेद पुराण शास्त्र बहुव्यंजन पाकर बाज बले अंदेश वाला की रहे अंदेश वाला की रहे हरि हो राम मिलन कब हो अंदेश वाला की रहे हरि हो राम मिलन कब हो अंदेश वाला की रहे धनुष की तुरिये जीतो तब राम मिले जीतो तब राम मिले अंदेश वाला की रहे हरि हो राम मिलन कब हो अंदेश वाला की रहे हरि हो राम मिलन
I want to say pranam and good morning to Nandi singing family. I want to say pranam and good morning to my grandpa Beta and grandma Chitra, watching from Letikeni in Guyana. Let me take this opportunity as well to say pranam and blessings to all those watching in Guyana. So before I go into my discourse for today, let me begin by saying, every Shakti Sundays that I do, I want to provide a new discourse that I have not provided yet. That is why every single program that you tune into, at the very least you will hear one piece of information you have never heard me speak about before. Where some will speak about the same old stories and the same old topics again and again. We'll be speaking every single discourse, introducing at least one new piece of information, one new thing I have never spoken about. And today is, of course, a discourse of that nature. So as we begin our discourse for today, we are speaking today about a Shakti Peerth. But what is a Shakti Peerth? A Shakti Peerth is a sacred space where the Supreme Goddess takes a seat, and where a shrine or temple of the goddess is built. There are 51 Shakti Peerths in the world today. 51 sites where the Supreme Goddess's energy resides. For you to have the understanding, when Sati committed suicide, Lord Shiva was in that furious and angry state. Lord Vishnu had to take his chakra and cut up Sati's body into 51 pieces. Every place on earth that those body pieces fell, there is a Shakti Peerth, or there is a temple of the divine goddess. In particular, today we are speaking about the Shakti Peerth, where the left ankle of the divine goddess fell. And this Shakti Peerth that we're speaking about today is Aparna Devi, or Aparnama. She's a form of goddess Durga. And accordingly, our entire discourse will focus on Aparna Devi and her Shakti Peerth. So as we go along in the program further, I will speak more into depth about Aparna Devi, how worship is done at this particular temple, what is the power of this goddess, what is the blessing of this goddess. will speak the stories related to the miracles of this goddess. But in the meantime, I wish to say pranam and good morning to Shireen Kasim. I want to say pranam and good morning to Sunita Kolasar, Bida Barretton family. I want to say pranam and good morning to Rita Albert, Shirley Lochin. I want to say pranam and good morning to Devi Manahar and family, watcher from Schenectady. And to anyone's name I happen to miss, I do humbly apologize. But I want you to know, I appreciate you being a part of the Shakti Sundays family.
तुम ही हो माता पिता, तुम ही हो बंधु सखा, तुम ही हो माँ। तुम ही हो माता पिता, तुम ही हो बंधु सखा, तुम ही हो माँ। जय जय माँ देवी माँ, जय माँ दुर्गा माँ। तुम ही हो साथी, तुम ही सहारे, कोई न अपना सेवा तुम्हारी माँ। तुम ही हो साथी, तुम ही सहारे, कोई न अपना सेवा तुम्हारी माँ। तुम ही हो नैया, तुम ही केवैया, तुम ही हो बंधु सखा, तुम ही हो माँ। जय जय माँ देवी माँ, जय माँ दुर्गा माँ। जो क्यों सके ना वो फूला हम है, तुम्हारी शरणों के धूल हम है माँ। जो क्यों सके ना वो फूला हम है, तुम्हारी चरणों के धूल हम है माँ। दया के दृष्टि सदा के रखना, तुम ही हो बंधु सखा, तुम ही हो माँ। जय जय माँ देवी माँ, जय माँ दुर्गा माँ।
கருணை உள்ளத்தோடு கருணை உள்ளத்தோடு அம்மா அருளை மாறி தருகிறாய். கருணாக உருவெடுத்து கருமாறி அருள்கிறாள். மயிலையிலே முண்டக கண்ணியம்.
I want to say pranam and good morning to Basmati Ramsewak as well.
காமாட்சி அம்மா. கருணை உள்ளத்தோடு அம்மா அருளை வாரி தருகிறாள். கருணாக உருவெடுத்து கருமாறி அருள்கிறாள். மயிலையிலே முண்டக கன்னியம்மா மாங்காடு கனிவாளும் காமாட்சி அம்மா. அகிலாண்டேஸ்வரி மகமாயி அம்மா தாயே கருமாரி. கருணை உள்ளத்தோடு அம்மா அருளை வாரி தருகிறாள். கருணாக உருவெடுத்து கருமாறி அருள்கிறாள். மயிலையிலே முண்டக கன்னியம்மா மாங்காடு கனிவாளும் காமாட்சி அம்மா. அகிலாண்டேஸ்வரி மகமாயி அம்மா தாயே கருமாரி. அகிலாண்டேஸ்வரி மகமாயி அம்மா தாயே கருமாரி. உன்னை நல்லூர் மாரியம்மா புகழ் விளங்கும் தேவியம்மா. உன்னை நல்லூர் மாரியம்மா புகழ் விளங்கும் தேவியம்மா. எண்ணமெல்லாம் நிறைந்தவளே எங்க முத்து மாரியம்மா. எண்ணமெல்லாம் நிறைந்தவளே எங்க முத்து மாரியம்மா. அகிலாண்டேஸ்வரி மகமாயி அம்மா தாயே கருமாரி. அகிலாண்டேஸ்வரி மகமாயி அம்மா தாயே கருமாரி. கருணை உள்ள
Once again, if you just locked on, I want to say Sitaram Om Shakti Vanakam. And welcome to the one and the only Shakti Sundays. It is my distinct honor to have you locked on as we play all these divine songs and to bring you teachings of the Divine Devi on this very, very auspicious Sunday morning. I want to say pranam and good morning to It's Rajpal, Usha Sicharan, and as we continue onwards with our discourse for today, who is Aparna Devi, this form of Durga Devi? Aparna Devi, her temple originates from when Ma Sati's left ankle falls on the earth. That area where the left ankle fell came about the temple of the divine goddess Ma Aparna, which is a ferocious form of Durga Ma. But who is she in particular? Here is the story. Here is the backstory. Ma Parvati was so consumed with Lord Shiva. She was doing penance for Lord Shiva, that everything around her became unnoticed. Someone could yell and scream and Ma Parvati would not notice it. All her tension, all her focus was on Lord Shiva and the penance she was performing for Lord Shiva. Why is her name Ma Aparna? Why is this form of Durga Ma called Ma Aparna? When Ma Aparna was performing her penance for Lord Shiva, it was such a severe penance that the only thing that she lived off of were leaves. And that's why she was given the name Ma Aparna. Relating back to the concept, relating back to leaves. Ma Aparna is a white-skinned goddess who often wears this green attire. Her sari is green in color. She often holds that leaf in her hand. Which is a reminder of the penance that she did for Lord Shiva, the devotion she did for Lord Shiva, where she only ate leaves during the course of her devotion, yet survived, yet prospered in her devotion. It is a reminder to all devotees that if you seek the divine, if you seek God, despite your circumstances, despite the little that you have, the divine will see beyond it and bless you more than you could ever think. When you put yourself through sacrifices for the Divine Father or for the Divine Goddess, you struggle. Those sacrifices do not go unrewarded, but the benefits, the rewards are more than the eyes can see and more than you can think. On a simple level, whenever you fast and you pray, when you make these sacrifices in your daily life for the goddess or for the Divine Father, one day those sacrifices will materialize. Ma Aparna did penance for Lord Shiva just on leaves alone. She put herself through that immense sacrifice and was blessed incredibly.
ज्ञान का सूरज चमका दे भगवान। आज अंधेरे में है हम इंसान, ज्ञान का सूरज चमका दे भगवान। भटक रहे हम राह दिखा दे भगवन, राह दिखा रे। भटक रहे हम राह दिखा दे भगवन, राह दिखा दे। कदम कदम पर किरण बिछा दे भगवन, किरण बिछा दे। भगवन किरण बिछा दे। इन अखियन को प्रभु करा दे, इन अखियन को प्रभु करा दे। ज्योति से पहचान, ज्योति से पहचान। आज अंधेरे में है हम इंसान, ज्ञान का सूरज चमका दे भगवान। आज अंधेरे में है हम इंसान, ज्ञान का सूरज चमका दे भगवान। तो है संतान तिहारी प्रभु, संतान तिहारी। हम तो है संतान तिहारी प्रभु, संतान तिहारी। तेरी दया के हम अधिकारी प्रभु है हम अधिकारी। ओ तेरी दया के प्रभु है हम अधिकारी। दुनिया हो बेसुखी हमारी, दुनिया हो बेसुखी हमारी।
दुनिया ने चढ़ाए फूल तुझे, मैं खुद को चढ़ाने आया हूँ। O Lord, the world has offered flowers to thee. I have come to offer not flowers today, but myself. O Master, now that I am at your door, I want to submit myself totally to thee. दुनिया ने चढ़ाए फूल तुझे, मैं खुद को चढ़ाने आया हूँ। दुनिया ने चढ़ाए फूल तुझे, मैं खुद को चढ़ाने आया हूँ। हे साईं तुम्हारे द्वारे पे है, साईं तुम्हारे द्वारे पे मैं सभी लुटाने आया हूँ। दुनिया ने चढ़ाए फूल तुझे, मैं खुद को चढ़ाने आया हूँ। तू चाहे तो ठुकरा दे मुझे, अपने द्वारे से हटा दे मुझे। तू चाहे तो ठुकरा दे मुझे, अपने द्वारे से हटा दे मुझे। साई नाम की जलती धूनी में, साई नाम की जलती धूनी में अभिमान जलाने आया हूँ। दुनिया ने चढ़ाए फूल तुझे, मैं खुद को चढ़ाने आया हूँ। माला सांसों की बनाई है, तेरी याद उसी में समाई है। माला सांसों की बनाई है, तेरी याद उसी में समाई है। जन्मों से सोई भक्ति को, जन्मों से सोई भक्ति को साई आज जगाने आया हूँ। दुनिया ने चढ़ाए फूल तुझे, मैं खुद को चढ़ाने आया हूँ।
I want to say pranam and good morning to Bharat Samuel. Once again, if you just locked on, I want to say pranam. Good morning and blessings of the Divine Goddess to each and every one of you. As we begin to discuss how is worship performed in this Shakti Peerth. You know, for Aparna Devi, this ferocious form of Durga Ma, in this Shakti Peerth, the divine goddess is worshipped as a ferocious form of Durga, very, very powerful, potent form of Durga Ma. In the inner sanctorum of this temple, there is Mahakali there. When devotees come to this temple, before they come to this temple often, or while visiting this temple, they will take a dip in the river that sits beside this temple. The river Karota. Devotees, while visiting this temple, will take a dip in this river to remove the darkness of their egos. And here is a little something for you to have the understanding. We often emphasize the point that one should shower before one attends temple, or indeed before one goes to their altar. And there are reasons, various reasons why. But one particular reason why you shower before you go about your divinity or spiritual practice is when you take a shower, it helps to absorb those divine vibrations. When your skin is in that moist state where you have just showered, you pray or you go about whatever puja or spiritual practice you engage in. The divine vibrations, the blessings kind of stick to you. That is why in some temples in the world today, the devotee will take a dip in water, take a dip in a river, and with their wet clothes they will go before the goddess or whatever divine form it is and pray. So there is more than just the reason of cleanliness as it relates to showering before you pray, before you go to altar, before you go to temple. There's a logical reason why. So those divine vibrations stick to you, that those divine vibrations come to you and stay with you. So in the Shakti Peerth, Mahaparna resides. But what is her domain? What is her area of expertise? Every goddess that we know has an area of expertise. That is an area that they help devotees with, that they specialize in. For Mahaparna, she is known to heal devotees of all skin diseases. When a devotee has skin ailments, boils and various abnormalities of the skin, they go to Mahaparna and they pray to her. And it is believed that when you take the darshan of Mahaparna, she confers a healer's touch, and your skin ailment or your skin disease eventually goes away. So this form of Durga Ma is related to skin diseases and skin ailments. After a few bhajans, we will speak to a devotee's experience with Mahaparna and a little story in reverence to the Supreme Goddess. But in the meantime, this song is in glorification of Mother Kali. I want to say pranam and good morning to Fenton Tawari. I want to say pranam and good morning as well to Doris Diorama.
Jai Kali, Jai Kalyani, Jai Kali, Jai Kalyani, Jai Kali, Jai Kalyani, Jai Kali, Jai Kalyani, Ma, Jai Ma, Jai Ma, Jai Ma, Jai Ma,
Jai Ma, Jai Ma, Jai Ma, Jai Ma.
Jai Kali, Jai Kalyani, Jai Kali, Jai Kalyani, Jai Kali, Jai Kalyani, Jai Kali, Jai Kalyani, Ma. गले में साजे मुंड माल वस्त्र है काले, शव वाहन है तेरा, तेरे खेल निराले। गले में साजे मुंड माल वस्त्र है काले, शव वाहन है तेरा, तेरे खेल निराले। भक्तों के दुख हरने वाली तू काली जय कल्याणी, जय काली जय कल्याणी, जय काली जय कल्याणी, जय काली जय कल्याणी माँ, जय माँ, जय माँ, जय माँ, जय माँ। तीन लोक है राज तेरे माँ तू ही ज्वाला, जीवन के अंधियारे में माँ तू ही उजाला। तीन लोक है राज तेरा माँ तू ही ज्वाला, जीवन के अंधियारे में माँ तू ही उजाला। भवसागर को तारन वाली तेरा कोई नहीं सानी, जय काली जय कल्याणी, जय काली जय कल्याणी, जय काली जय कल्याणी, जय काली जय कल्याणी माँ, जय माँ, जय माँ, जय माँ।
I wish to take this opportunity to just simply pause and say, the Sri Mahakali Durga Mandir located at 9266 Springfield Boulevard in Queens Village, New York, would like to cordially invite you and your family to join them for their 16th annual puja. Their 16th annual puja will be from Friday, August 21st to Sunday, August 23rd. It'll be 3 days of worship, 3 days of glorification of the divine goddess. It'll be a spiritually lifting experience, and indeed 3 days of worship you wouldn't want to miss. In particular, Friday, August 21st, they'll be having the revealing of the Mother's Eyes at 6 p.m. On Saturday, August 22nd, they'll be having Mother Ganga and Mother Kateri Puja at Cross Bay Beach, leaving the mandir at 6 a.m. Following that, they'll be having Lord Hanuman Puja at 4:30 p.m. On Sunday, August 23rd, they'll be having their 16th annual puja at 10 a.m. So once again, the Sri Mahakali Durga Mandir would like to extend an invite and say, please join them for their 16th annual puja. From Friday, August 21st to Sunday, August 23rd, it'll be 3 days of worship, 3 days of glorification, and 3 days of receiving the darshan of the divine goddess. For more information, please contact Pujari Kavirdas G2 at 917-929-7150. That's Pujari Kavirdas G2 at 917-929-7150 for more information.
जय जय गणपति जय श्री गणेश, जय जय गणपति जय श्री गणेश, सिद्धि विनायक जय करुणेश, सिद्धि विनायक जय करुणेश। गजानन जय परमेश जयति गजानन जय परमेश जय जय मंगल मूर्ति गणेश जय जय मंगल मूर्ति गणेश जय जय गणपति जय श्री गणेश जय जय गणपति जय श्री गणेश सिद्धि विनायक जय करुणेश सिद्धि विनायक जय करुणेश लाभ और शुभ के तुम हो दाता तुम हो विद्या बुद्धि विधाता लाभ और शुभ के तुम हो दाता तुम हो विद्या बुद्धि विधाता निर्मल बुद्धि करो अखिलेश निर्मल बुद्धि करो अखिलेश जय जय मंगल मूर्ति गणेश जय जय मंगल मूर्ति गणेश जय चंद्रशेखर 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 पाहि मां चंद्रशेखर 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 पाहि मां चंद्रशेखर 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 पाहि मां विश्वेश्वमाधवं दुण्डिं दण्डपाणिं च भैरवं वन्दे काशीं गुह्यां गङ्गां भवानीं मणिकर्णिकाम् सुन्दरेश्वर 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 पाहि मां सुन्दरेश्वर 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 पाहि मां सुन्दरेश्वर 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 पाहि मां गङ्गातरङ्गरमणीयजटा कलापं गौरी निरन्तर्विभूषितवामभागं नारायणप्रियमनङ्गमदापहारं वाराणसीपुरपतिं भज विश्वनाथम् जय रामेश्वर जय रामेश्वर जय रामेश्वर पाहि मां जय रामेश्वर जय रामेश्वर जय रामेश्वर पाहि मां जय रामेश्वर
As you know, in every show that I do, I like to share a little story that can help to enlighten us about Hindu spirituality, or indeed to help us to rethink our approach to life. And today is no different. Today's discourse has focused on the Shakti Peerth, where the left ankle of the divine goddess fell on earth. Today's entire discourse has focused on this ferocious form of Durga Ma, Aparna Devi. As such, today's story is a little story about Aparna Devi. There was once a seller of conch bangles. He was a poor man, and he used to sell these bangles. One day, a little girl, a Kanya, approached his stall. And as he looked at this little girl, he saw this little girl had a sort of glow that could not be explained via words. He looked at this little girl and he saw the little girl had a red tilak. He looked at this little girl and he saw that she was adorned with jewelry, that she likely came from a wealthy family. This little girl approaches his stall and asks for an entire set of bangles. The little girl tells the seller he can go to the king. He can go to the kingdom and receive payment for these bangles. So the seller of these bangles, he doesn't think very much of it. He gives the little girl the bangles she asks for. And eventually he goes to the kingdom to seek his payment. So he goes to the kingdom, he knocks on the door, he enters the kingdom, and he explains the story to them. He tells them a little girl who said she is from this kingdom, who was adorned in jewelry, told me to seek my payment from all of you. So please pay me for the bangles and let me go on my way. Everyone in the kingdom wonders who is this little girl this seller is talking about. They don't know of any little girl. Everyone doubts the story. Everyone doubts the seller. Everyone says that the seller manufactured or fabricated this story. It's a false story. Or everyone tells the seller he got robbed. He got tricked by a little girl. No one believes the story of the seller. No one believes that a little girl from the kingdom bought bangles from this man. But the queen of the kingdom hears the story and she doesn't doubt. She looks at the seller of these bangles and she sees that the seller of these bangles is an honest man and he's not lying. He's telling the truth. So the queen, with her intuition, the queen who sees beyond what the others in the kingdom fail to see, she decides to go about and search for this little girl. She knows in her heart that the seller of the bangles was telling a true story, was honest. That despite everybody in the kingdom doubting the story, and despite everyone in the kingdom believing the seller of the bangles was tricked, she believed in him. So the queen of the kingdom goes about searching for this little girl, where this little girl could be. She goes about searching and searching the area where she was apparently roaming around. She goes searching and searching, but she can't find this little girl. So she decides to take rest beside a pond. As she is resting near this pond, she closes her eyes and she says, "O divine goddess, nobody in the kingdom believes the story the seller of bangles told. But I can see the honesty of this man. Please show me something that can help me in this situation. Let me find this little girl. And let me resolve this entire situation." So the queen closes her eyes and she prays to the divine goddess. The divine goddess holds the answers to all the questions we have in life. And the queen believes in the divine goddess, and she puts her faith and trust in the supreme goddess. As she opens her eyes, she realizes something. She realizes that little girl who bought the bangles was not a little girl. She was the divine goddess who took the form of a little girl. Ma revealed the truth to her. When everyone in the kingdom doubted, when everyone in the kingdom thought the man who sold bangles was a liar and was a cheat, the queen could see beyond that. And the queen would not permit them to disparage the reputation of that man. So Ma revealed to her that that little girl was the Divine Mother. But something happens, something that will change the fate of not only the queen, but indeed those in the kingdom. While the queen is beside that pond, something begins coming out of that pond. Something begins emerging from that pond. And when the queen looks at that pond, a white-skinned form of the goddess comes. And when she looks at this goddess, she sees the goddess in a green sari. And this goddess holds a leaf in her hand. Durga Ma took the form of Aparna Devi, the goddess with the leaf. And Aparna Devi blesses the queen. And all those in that area, she blesses all of them. But what is the lesson of this story, my friends? The lesson of this story is, in this story, everyone was consumed by doubt, by confusion in the kingdom. Everyone doubted that that seller of bangles story was true. But only the queen, who was a sincere believer in the Divine Mother, she saw the truth. She saw that the man was not lying. He was an honest man. And ultimately the queen was blessed by the Divine Goddess, and the Divine Goddess revealed to her the truth. But if she had followed the crowd, if she had followed all the foolish people of the kingdom, what would have happened? This story seeks to teach us a simple yet profound lesson, my friends. When you follow the crowd, you follow the blind. But when you follow your heart and you follow the Divine Goddess, you'll always follow that which is right and that which is true. So, my friends, in your own life, remember not to follow the crowd. Follow the Divine Goddess. The crowd will leave you astray. The crowd will leave you a fool. But when you follow what is right, what is true, you follow the Supreme Goddess, it'll always take you and lead you to the truth. People in this world today, their downfall is they listen to this person, they listen to that person. They want to be a part of a group. They want to have a big friendship, being this big group. And they act like a fool. They have to make themselves like a fool. They have to do things that they don't want to do, things that they know in their mind is not right, is not respectable. So I say, my friends, as I conclude this program for today, never follow the crowd, because whenever you follow the crowd, you follow the blind. Follow what you know to be true and to be right. Follow that gut instinct, that intuition you have. And ultimately speaking, follow the Divine Goddess. She always leads you to truth. She always leads you to the path of righteousness. So as I conclude this program for today, my friends, I want to say in closing that I love each and every one of you. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for sharing. And thank you for being a part of Shakti Sundays today. With the next few bhajans in mind, I am taking my leave. But of course, I will see you next Sunday, 9:32, 11 a.m. for another edition of Shakti Sundays. In the meantime, I wish all of you a safe and blessed week ahead. Until we meet again, my friends, please take care.
आरती श्री रामायण जी की।
आरती श्री रामायण जी की।
कीर्ति कलित ललित सिया पीर की।
कीर्ति कलित ललित सिया पीर की।
आरती श्री रामायण जी की।
आरती श्री रामायण जी की।
कीर्ति कलित ललित सिया पीर की।
कीर्ति कलित ललित सिया पीर की। आरती श्री रामायण जी की।
गावत ब्रह्मादिक मुनि नारद।
गावत ब्रह्मादिक मुनि नारद।
वाल्मीक विज्ञान विशारद।
वाल्मीक विज्ञान विशारद।
सुख सनकादिशेष अनुसारद।
सुख सनकादिशेष अनुसारद।
बरनि पवन सुत कीरतिनी की।
आरती श्री रामायण जी की। कीर्ति कलित ललित सिया पीर की।
भोर भई दिन चढ़ गया मेरी अम्बे। भोर भई दिन चढ़ गया मेरी अम्बे। हो रही जय जयकार मंदिर विच। आरती जय माँ हे पहाड़ा वाली। आरती जय माँ।
Before I leave, I want to say blessings and pranam to Wilbert Sichuan and family as well.
मैया तेरी
Once again, my friends, until we meet again next Sunday, have a safe and have a blessed week ahead.
आरती बनावा काहे दी पावा विच। भाती मंदिर विच। आरती जय माँ सूहे चोले वाली। आरती जय माँ। सर्व सोने दी तेरी आरती बनावा। सर्व सोने दी तेरी आरती बनावा।